why, for example, did your government not allow the opportunity for private capital to take over Bharat Petroleum Corporation?
No, wait a minute. No. It's a brilliant question. Brilliant question. I joined the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas in July 2021. So it's what, 2.5 years plus? And I was amazed. And it is a very contrasting story. When I was Civil Aviation Minister, I was absolutely banging my head against the wall, and Mr. Kant helped me. And I said in Parliament one day, without any authorization, that the choice between privatization of Air India is not privatization or no privatization. The choice is privatization or the closure of Air India. And I admitted in Parliament that I don't have the capacity every year to go to my senior colleague, the Finance Minister, and ask for 8,000 crores. Why? Because the previous attempt at privatization was, we will retain 17% or 20%. So you make a mess of an airline for 50 years, produce an entity that is not growing, that is sucking in government support. And if you want to sell it, you will have to make a clean this thing about it. So we changed this thing. I said privatization or closure. I'm glad I won my point. The privatization took place a few months after I was Civil Aviation Minister, but I take a large part of the credit and the blame if any has to come. And today you're in a situation, the airline is ordering thousands of planes. Indigo, Air India, between them, this is the success story in civil aviation the world over. Now let me come to BPCL. I was told कि BPCL को बेचना है. मुझे तो समझ ही नहीं आई. क्यों बेचना है? If I looked at the work culture, I went about it very quietly. I looked at the work culture of BPCL, it was amongst the best in the OMCs. I looked at the talent there, amongst the best. So I decided, instead of, I couldn't get up in Parliament and say, हम BPCL नहीं बेचेंगे, because there'd be another furor. So what I did was we quickly started turning them around. And to answer your question, in the first 3 quarters of this year, BPCL has earned more money or nearly that much money as the amount for which it was being sold by at that point of time. And today, you know, and let me say where it started. When I became Civil Aviation Minister, in Petroleum and Natural Gas Minister in July of 21, everyone I would meet, from the sheikhs in the Gulf Kingdoms, from my friends in the colder climates of Northern Europe, everybody said, हमको BPCL खरीदना. So I told my young colleague, मैंने यार सारे खरीदना चाहते हैं, आप बेचना क्यों चाहते हो? There must be something good in it. So it's just an uninitiated newcomer's minister's instincts. And then when we looked at it today, it's a success story. The former BPCL chairman, who's now the ONGC chairman, when I look at what they're doing, I mean, I want to complete this. I took the Honorable Prime Minister to the BPCL stall at the India Energy Week. And he saw an indigenously manufactured electrolyzer, which produces, you know what an electrolyzer is. All you need is cheap green energy and an electrolyzer, and you can produce green hydrogen. And it is at 30% of the cost of what an imported electrolyzer would be. So what are we discussing? So everything should not be privatized, and certainly your family assets of this kind should not be. But it's growing. These are all entities operating like private sector entities.